بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسول الكريم سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين إلى يوم الدين أما بعد ذلك من يعظم شعائر الله فإنها من تقوى القلوب. Whoever venerates the sacraments of Allah leads to the piety of hearts. A person selected to go to these Mubarak places should understand who has been chosen, why have they been chosen. It is not our kamal, our accolades, our intellect, our wealth. Nothing of yours qualifies you to go to these blessed places and get an invitation from Allah Rabbul Alameen. It is the great favor of Allah only. It is only the favor of Allah that He chooses whom He wishes. So it shouldn't be another ritual. If a person needs some richness instead of a ritual, then we should be rich with forgiveness. Allah must forgive all our sins, rich in changing our lives, rich in reaching Allah Rabbul Alameen. So when a person is going in these places, shaitan will come with the Nurani hijab in the form of deen, a veil of light, and that is where a person loses the real momentum as a Haji. So sometimes somebody tells you need to make fikr on the ummah, so you start giving dawah to the hujjajas, the lady, females that are doing Hajj. So who's going to give these beautiful women dawah to Allah? Who's going to give these beautiful young girls dawah to Allah? So a person goes shopping, he comes back overweight from Hajj, from Umrah, but we're supposed to come back shopping for hidayat, shopping for maghfirah, shopping for faisla, decision from the Asman, for ourselves, for the ummah, for our generations. We're supposed to secure our place in Jannatul Firdaus. So a person is spending a lot of time in these places, but are these places in you? That's what we need to check. Thanwi R.A used to say that the acquisition of material wealth in worldly garb is not as harmful as the acquisition of worldly gain under guise of deen. Under this guise of deen, a person in the name of deen starts justifying, in the name of da'wat, in the name of tabligh, person compromises. So we compromise deen in the name of deen, and that's a great fitna which even the scholars of deen, Allah protect one and all, Allah guide one and all from these fitan in the era we are living in. So a person thinks so, he's doing good and he's achieving something, and outwardly it seems like that, but when you get to the real story, it's something else. Like 3 people went for a job interview. So the interviewer conducting the session did not have ears. So he asked the first candidate, this job calls for observations. I want to test your skill of observation. What have you observed about me? So he said, you've got no ears. So he became very upset and furious and threw him out. Get out from here. Second person entered same observation, no ears, threw him out of the office. Now he was infuriated. Third person came, any observations? He said, yes sir, you wear contact lenses, you wear contact lenses. So he said, wow, wow, how amazing, you're the candidate I've been looking for. Nobody else that I've interviewed. Figure that out. Tell me the secret. How did you do it? He said, so simple and obvious. You've got no ears. What's going to hold the glasses up? What's going to hold the glasses up? So sometimes it looks like we got it under control, but because in our own harm. Continuing with the ma'ani meanings of talbiyyah. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك. إجابة بعد إجابة. Scholars say, Ya am, one response after another. بدوام الإجابة واستمرارها. This is repeated again and again to show a response of lasting and ongoing. So some friends you don't see at all, other friends you see randomly. Others you only see them when they have a need. When they have a need, agreed for a need for you to feed, and they don't want any good deed. So this lead that they come for, they need something from you. So they need something for you, they're there. But the beloveds, your good friend, your genuine friends, that when you have a need, they're there for you. When you have a need, they're there for you. So like a beloved, when you're at their side all the time, you don't want to leave their company. So labbaik ya Allah, ya ayu ya Allah, I don't want to go back home, I don't want to return ya Allah, I'm here for you. So here you're telling Allah, I'm here to stay as long as it takes. But eventually a lover has to separate from their beloved, so that's the moment of grief, that's a moment of sadness, and that's the moment of tears, where you don't want to leave, but you know that you have to leave, and in your separating there will be another union. Number 3, انقدت لك بعد انقياد. Allah, I am submitting again. That is ongoing submission. Like Allah addressed Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam, إذ قال له ربه أسلم, surrender. أسلمت لرب العالمين. Ya Allah, I have surrendered. I've handed myself over completely. So when a person has surrendered, it means they've handed themselves completely. So how much am I? Labbaik, I'm here Ya Allah, and I'm ready to submit. Likewise under this, meaning Ibn Kaysan and Kalbi have mentioned that أخلص دينك لله بالتوحيد, purify your deen. So the meaning from here is purity, and how that will be إخضع وخشع, surrender yourself, surrender yourself to Allah, hand over yourself to Allah, submit yourself to Allah, yield, relinquish everything else, forfeit everything else, concede, renounce. أنا خاضع ثم خاضع ثم خاضع. Ya Allah, I'm here, I've wavered everything, handed over everything. Because of your greatness, because of your jalal, you are so great, I got no option. you are so great, every option falls out. And the scholar said, Ana mulabbin bayna yadayka. Ya Allah, I have submitted and surrendered. I'm here, khadi'un bayna yadayka, and the fact that I'm here to show it. You tell somebody something, put your money where your mouth is, and you phone the person, I'm here. You said 5 o'clock in the morning to be here, I meet you, I'm ready. So to prove it, Ya Allah, since I'm physically present, I am submitting myself. This is a proof of my submission, that I am here presently, and that's a sign. And Hafiz ibn Qayyim has mentioned, Ana dhalilun, Ana khadi'un. So when a person submits and they feel they are nobody, and Allah is everything and you are nothing, then how can a person look down upon anybody else? So a person who is saying labbaik thinks I'm nothing, Allah is everything, and he never looks down upon anybody else. No, at the Haji, look at this person from this continent, look how they look at their situation. He'll never speak bad or think bad about anybody ever. So he is conceited. So it should not be a person says, I've surrendered, we've made this claim, but when the crunch comes, we surrender to nafs and shaitan. When there's a war and the odds are overwhelming, then a person surrenders, hands up. So when a person knows they're overpowered, they got no option, they've got no choice but to give in. So we have Allah the greatest, Allahu Akbar, Rabbul Alameen. So in this battle against nafs and shaitan, why have we surrendered to nafs? Why have we surrendered to shaitan? Meaning number 4, the Arabic مأخوذة من لب بالمكان. So when it is said in Arabic, when a person is staying in one place, labba bil makan, when a person is residing at one place and is holding on to it, he is clinging to it. يعني إذا قام به ولزمه, he persists and he remains on it. So أنا مقيم على طاعتك. Ya Allah, I am continuously ready to serve you. So a person shows his ubudiyyah and his allegiance to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So a person in these days in manasik, he is telling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that I am here and I've submitted. So when a person goes here and he says, you know what, I feel sad as the days are going, it's time to leave here. So you love the place so much, you showed how much you loved it, but when you go back, you do the opposite. He goes back to his old way of life, old style. So, Iqama ala al-ubudiyya, Ya Allah, I'm established in servitude. I'm ready to serve you completely. So this servitude, this level of servitude and behavior to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So a person selectively, if this quality is not there, then they will choose deen when it suits them and abandon deen when it suits them. It's all a day, Assalamu alaikum deen, Assalamu alaikum parda. Person is in solitude, nobody's watching them. Then Assalamu alaikum deen, and they make musafa with sin and shaitan. This is all selective deen. When a person is with their parents, then they well behaved. When he's with his spouse, then he's a pious person. When a person is alone on a business trip, then what happens? So it's selective deen. When in Jama'at, then you're pious. When you're with your Sheikh, then you're pious. When it's Ramadan, then you're Dindar. When it is Jummah, then you're in the masjid. When it's Eid, then you perform in your Salah. So selectively, we choose the deen we wish. Why you wearing Islamic garments here and non-Islamic at another time? Why are you selective? Some people install spy cameras to spy on others. You watching others, but Allah is watching you. We don't have that asas, that awareness, that dhyan. So this talbiyyah negates all circumstances, pledging to Allah that I will worship you in all conditions, no matter what the condition, what the time, what the situation. Till my last breath I've handed myself over to you. Then number 5, حُبًّا لَكَ بَعْدَ حُبٍّ. This confirms the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In Arabic you say, imra'a labba, a loving woman. So, a mother who loves her child a lot, excessively, he said imra'a labba. So, here you are saying that, oh my love, oh my Allah, أنا مواجه لك بما تحب. I am ready to follow that which makes you happy. Whatever you love, Ya Allah, will become my love. And what you hate will become my hate. من أحب لله وأبغض لله وأعطى لله ومنع لله فقد استكمل الإيمان. Whoever loves for Allah, whoever hates for Allah, whoever separates for Allah, whoever unites for Allah, whoever gives for Allah, whoever takes for Allah, that's the completion of Iman. So, one is a outward action, one is a internal action. So, in a summary, in a nutshell, whoever's internal is for Allah, love Allah so much. My internal desires are what you desire. My external actions are what you makes you, what's beloved to you, what you love. So when you love somebody, إذا دعاه, somebody calls you, أو خاطبه, أو ناداه, somebody, your beloved, calls you. Example, the husband enters the house and doesn't know where his wife is. So he says, love, love, where are you? Where are you? Love, where are you? So he's calling to his beloved in shock, in anticipation to find her. So she says, gee, love, I'm here. So he out in his call, in his euphoric state. And in a reply, she's also in a euphoria. So that we can understand from Layla in Majnoon, that Layla came to a well, Majnoon happened to be there, she said take out water. Those days he used to have buckets and a rope, he drew out the water, Layla filled. But the whole day he continued taking out water. People look, Majnoon, pagal aadmi hai. Layla came back later, Majnoon was taking out water, she filled and then she said enough, bas. He stopped. So onlooker looked at Majnoon and said, but why did you have to exhaust yourself for that entire period? He said, Tumhe kya maloom? Al tadri, if only you knew that when she said take out water, then it wasn't about taking out the water. It's my beloved told me, take out water. So even though she was not here, she told me, take out water. So I enjoy taking out water. Aqimus salah. Allah said, establish salah. Perform salah. It's beloved, it's going to read salah. Kathratis sujood. submitting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My Allah told me, it's beloved. So when a person has love, so that labbaik is saying this here. Yeah, my love, Allah. Oh, my love, my love. My love, I'm here. My beloved, I'm here. Majnoon was saying some poetry outside the masjid. Somebody was reading Salah. So they got distracted with the noise. So they came to complain. Amongst his ashar, you say, Amurru ala diyari diyari Layla. أقبل ذا الجدار وما حب الديار شغفن قلبي ولكن حب من سكن الديار أمر على الديار ديار ليلى أقبل ذا الجدار وذا الجدار وما حب الديار شغفن قلبي ولكن حب من سكن الديار. I passed by the walls, the gullies, where Layla was. I kiss this wall, that wall. It's not the love of the wall that has taken control of my heart. It's made me a hostage. My heart is hostage, not for the walls, but the one who stays inside the walls. This is the house of my Layla. These are the walls, close to the walls of my Layla. So anyway, this person complained. So Majnoon said, very strange person. I am makhluk, creation, thinking of the creation, but I never knew my surroundings, never knew what was happening. I'm absolved. You are in the house of Allah, in the masjid, in salah, speaking to Khalik, the creator. Me, in remembering the creation, I was oblivious. You, in remembering the creator, you knew about me, you heard me saying whatever I was saying. You were distracted. What kind of salah you reading? What kind of musalli you reading? So like that also, we're doing Umrah, we're doing Hajj, we're going to the Baytullah. But what tawaf am I doing? Am I just walking? Am I doing the formality? Am I doing the ritual? Am I just want to get it over with? What's the mindset? So we need to evaluate and check and correct our intentions. My love, my beloved Allah, I am here. You called me, I came. Here I am. Tell me, what do you want? Somebody calls you. Something important. One is they want to see you. Sometimes they got an important task, they got an important work, an important assignment. Ya Allah, you call me, my beloved Allah. I'm here, my Allah. What do you want? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us, grant us tawfiq to understand and make amal. The amal for today is that when a person is in a masjid, the rewards for cleaning the masjid, sweeping the masjid, removing anything from the masjid. Unfortunately, people that clean the masjid nowadays, we undermine them, but we do not know what is their status. أُرِضَتْ عَلَيَّ أُجُورُ أُمَّتِي. The rewards of my ummah were shown to me. حَتَّى الْقَذَاتُ يُخْرِجُهَا الرَّجُلُ مِنَ الْمَسْجِدِ. To the extent that the dirt which is removed from a masjid, the reward for it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed me that, and I did not find a reward more greater than that. وَعُرِضَتْ عَلَيَّ ذُنُوبُ أُمَّتِي. And the sins of my ummat was shown to me. فَلَمْ أَرَى ذَنْبًا أَعْظَمَ مِنْ سُورَةٍ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ. I didn't find a sin more greater than a person forgetting the Quran. He memorizes and he forgets the Quran, a ayah, a surah, etc. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.